Pico, a 1-0 defeat to Burkina Faso on Thursday night. Obviously a disappointment, but still with a chance of getting out of this group. What was the mood like after?
Yeah, obviously with the result, we were all a bit down. I think we felt that performance on the night was a lot better than it was maybe against Ethiopia. And we did get the 3 points, and there's a lot of positives to take from the game. We knew Burkina Faso would be a strong opposition and cause us problems. And look, from our point of view, we feel the goal was preventable, but we got the credit on where it's due. Like they did look to get down the sides with a lot and put some dangerous crosses into the box. So yeah, we were sort of like picking ourselves up after the game, which you have to do because the game's come thick and fast here, and we're far from out of it with a big game up against Cameroon.
It was real back to the wall stuff, wasn't it? Especially in the first half. You yourself had to put a number of important blocks and challenges. But the second half was more positive the way you made some opportunities. But did the final pass just kind of let you down?
Yeah, I say like the first half, they probably shaded it, like especially the first part of it. They came out with that pace and power and really came at us, and we probably didn't get the grips with the system that they were playing, and we allowed too much space to go into number 10, which was causing us a lot of problems. But we got the grips of that in the second half, as you say, and managed to take or create a few opportunities. And maybe yeah, our final pass on the night like what probably wasn't there, or just that little bit of quality in the final third, like just to get a clear cut opportunity was probably just lacking. But like I said, there's still loads to take from the game, like, and hopefully we can take one of them opportunities the next time it comes around.
The commentators for the game actually singled you out for praise, and a lot of people watching at home felt that you were man of the match. Actually, have you read some nice things said about your performance?
Yeah, I have to say, I haven't been able to leave the room since because my head is swollen with all the nice compliments. Now look, as I say, like I was trying to focus on the game and give me all for Cape Verde every time I step on the pitch. Like that's just the way I play the game. Like and yeah, look, I had some really nice messages after the game, and I'm really grateful for people like wishing me well and congratulating me on a good game. Like, but I try not to let it get to my head or read into it too much because I know yeah, there's another game coming up, like, and you can't be still living on the last game.
You've beaten Cameroon before in the qualifiers, and even a draw might be enough to go through for third place. Cameroon, of course, they could possibly rest a number of players for this game. They're already through, but it's a massive game for you guys, isn't it?
Yeah, it's massive. As I say, like it's for us, it's the opportunity to get into the second phase, which has to be our goal, and it has been like since we started out on this. Like, it's not going to be easy. As I say, it's a strong Cameroon side, which you've seen in the opening two games, in front of their home crowd. Like they're looking dangerous, they're scoring goals. But look, we have to believe that we can go and beat them. As I say, we did it before in qualification, and what a great way to qualify onto the next phase by beating the hosts.
You had a good few players back in the team on Thursday that had been missing from the first game. And Babista, your manager, he finally arrived on Thursday, which was great news. Though he wasn't allowed in the dugout yet without his PCR test. But how much have you missed his presence?
Yeah, brilliant. As I say, like we don't think we've had a full squad since the very first day. There was always either people waiting to arrive or people missing through COVID. Like, and Bobista, the man, is a charismatic figure. Like to say, he really is Cape Verde through and through. He's passionate about the country. He's such a motivator. Like, and his tactical sort of nous as well. Like, is a big part of how we do well. Like, and I say he has a way of speaking to you to make you feel 10 foot tall, and you're well able to compete with all the big nations. So even just his presence when he came into the pre-match before the game, it was just a really big lift. And I say he wasn't allowed on the sideline during the game, but he was in the dressing room giving the team talk before the game at half time. And I say just to have his presence there, it was great, and it's great for him as well. Like I said, like he's worked so hard to get this team to the African Cup, and to not be a part of it until say, the second game is obviously. It's very disappointing for him. So I'm sure he was delighted with that moment that he got.
Now, the hosts, Cameroon, they've been waiting a long time for this, haven't they? It's their first AFCON since 1972, and this one has been postponed a couple of times. You've talked about the Vuvuzelas before. Describe the excitement around the city for this tournament when you walk around.
Yeah, like it's brilliant as I say. Like we don't get to see a lot of it because we are stuck in the hotel due to COVID. A lot of the time, you're not really mingling. Like, but every time we're going to train, and I say you see people out on the streets, and they have the Vuvuzela's, they have the horns. I think the day of our game, the Vuvuzela's were going from like 9 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock at night. Like, they actually are starting to grow on me a little bit. Maybe not so early in the morning, but as you go into training and at the matches, it's fantastic. I say we were traveling to the match the other day in Cameroon where we're playing before us, and we were passing loads of bars with people on the streets, and I think Cameroon scored at the time, and everyone was rushing out towards our team bus, like just jumping around, dancing, blowing the Vuvuzela. It's like, and it is a really good spectacle to see. Like, so I'm really looking forward to playing in probably what will be like our biggest crowd in front of the house.
How do you and your teammates usually pass the time in the city between games?
It's plenty to do. I think the other lads are making use of these Nintendo Switches. They're able to play Mario Kart against each other a lot. We have some card games. Netflix is, of course, is a go-to. Like, and funny enough, actually, the one of the lads from Holland, his barber is from Cape Verde as well, and they came over to watch the game. And yeah, I've been spending me last night, the last few days, trying to get a haircut, and I managed to get one yesterday, so I'm delighted with myself.
So you're not going to grow out the Pico fro again like you did last year?
No, I think that was the once in a lifetime moment that and it was only brought on by COVID. Yeah, so I'm going to try and keep it a bit more time going forward.
We also spoke about the heat last time. I've read you describe the stadium like a sauna, and the heat's been partly blamed for a couple of the many low-scoring games we've seen so far. A referee even suffered from sunstroke in one of the games. So how are you coping?
Yeah, as I say, like, it's probably come as a surprise to me because we've sort of like managed our training around the time we'd be playing, which is in the evening time, like 8 o'clock. So we went to train. It's not that warm. It's a bit cooler than, like, still, Jesus, it's 20, 21, 22 degrees. Like, but when you get to the stadium, it just seems to trap the heat in. There's no sort of breather coming in, and it just saps the sort of oxygen from you and the legs. As the game goes on, like, you really do feel it. Like, I felt it the last 10 minutes when we needed to push. That was just harder and harder to get up the pitch. Like, and yeah, look, as well, I think the first game in the competition, there was a lot of nerves and the sort of teams haven't settled, and in a lot of cases, especially ours, that was our first game. There's been no warm-up games due to preparations being pretty torn apart really by COVID. Like, so I say it'll be a slow burner, but I'm sure there's be plenty of high-scoring games to look forward to. Hopefully not our ones.
And there's no Rovers fans in Yaoundé that we know of anyway, but you were surprised to hear a Cork accent at Thursday's game. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so I think when I arrived in Cape Verde for our training camp, it was Edda. It was Edda, our team secretary. He told me that there's a girl based in London who's the team services manager for CAF, and she's based in Cork. And then she contacted me on Instagram to say that she was buzzing to see obviously Ireland's being represented the African Cup of Nations, and she'd be cheering on Cape Verde. So yeah, I was in the tunnel, and I get real serious in the tunnel, real focused on the game, about to walk out. And as I'm in this real serious mode, I hear Roberto shout in what I can only describe as well, not that I can only describe, but I was just shocked to hear a Cork accent in the heart of Africa. So I had to turn around, and there's a little video of that, like, which is pretty funny, and we managed to get a selfie after the game and have a little chat, like. So yeah, it was great to see, like, as another Irish person there at the AFCON.
Pico, since we last spoke, you've appeared on Sky Sports News and all. You're famous now.
Yeah, I'm still getting stick off my friends saying how big time I am, like, and I just told them, look, if I can get on the Soccer AM now, I'll just hang up the boots and that'll be me, and you don't have to deal with me popping up in your TVs.
I was surprised you even agreed to talk to me. I thought I might have to go through your publicist.
No, like, the feet are still firmly grounded. As I say, like, it doesn't matter if it's Sky or BBC or whatever. Shamrock Rovers TV always gets first preference.
And then one last question. Great to hear that. I love the blue jersey, and I know you're very proud to pull it on every game. I'm wearing blue myself here to try and get in the spirit. But I know on Rovers jerseys you have Lopes, but Cape Verde you have Pico on the back. So why that choice?
Yeah, we actually were given the option of, like, what name we wanted to put on the jersey before we came over here, and I just thought to myself, like, if it would be a nice bit of memorabilia to have, like, a jersey with Pico on it, like, and to say, like, no one calls me Roberto, no one calls me Lopes, and obviously I'm known here as Pico as well. So it would just be like nice for the memories to have that on a jersey as a sorry for the AFCON. Like I don't think it's something that'll keep up now, but I just want it for the memories.
Well, hopefully you can cause an upset and keep the journey going, and you'll be doing more interviews on Sky, maybe even NBC, about the knockout stages. Well done, Pico, and best of luck on Monday.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, Phil. Appreciate it.